This is section 3 of the contract for sale and purchase, closing in possession. Make sure you know exactly what's written in lines 11 through 19, specifically the bold. Okay, seller shall keep all utilities on and maintain the property, lawn, shrubbery, pool, and any other improvements until closing or buyer's possession, whichever occurs first. Seller shall maintain property in the same condition, including items remedied, repaired, as at time of contract, ordinary wear and tear is expected. Okay, know what these sentences say and what the expectation is. Look at line 13. The seller, the contract closing shall require the deed to be delivered, etc. Okay, then on 14, seller shall remove all personal items, trash, and clean the property prior to closing. Right. Line 14 is can be a point of contention when you're doing your final walkthrough because the definition of clean the property is a relative term. I know the way I clean something and the way my 4-year-old cleans something, they're not the same. So you just got to kind of manage the customer's expectations there, your buyer's expectations, okay? But at a very, very minimum, the seller needs to make sure they got those utilities on. If you show up to do your home inspection and the utilities are turned off, you got a problem, okay? And the seller is in theory gone against what they've agreed to do in the contract. Okay, so know what these sentences say. Be prepared to talk about it with another agent in the case that there's any kind of problem. You need to know what's in here so you can talk smartly about it. Now, we need to pick a closing date. Okay, we're trying to buy this house in Piney Z. In this particular case, we're using a conventional loan. With conventional loans, most lenders, especially the ones we work with that are really good and efficient, they're going to be able to process that conventional loan in 30 days, no problem. Okay, so that being said, so today's December 14th. I'm doing a conventional loan. I come in here. There's December 14th. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to January 14th. Oops, that puts me on a Saturday. Title companies are closed on Saturdays and Sundays, so holidays, weekends are a no-go. That being said, I like to close on Wednesdays anyway. Wednesdays are a good middle of the week day to always close. So if the 14th was right here, I would go ahead and kick it all the way to the following Wednesday. So in this case, that's going to be the 18th. All right. So January 18th, that gives us 30 days and some change, a little bit of extra, a couple days there for any kind of hiccups to make that closing date. Something to understand about our contract here in Tallahassee versus other contracts in other states and in other boards. The closing date is the closing date. There are no automatic extensions. So if you put a closing date on here that the buyer and the lender say that they're good with, they got to make that date. If you're not ready to close on January 18th, 2023, there's a good chance that the buyer could lose their deposit and the seller could take their money and put their house back on the market and sell it to somebody else. Hopefully they won't do that, but you have to understand that there's just no, hey, I'm not ready on the 18th. Can we just go ahead and close tomorrow? That doesn't automatically happen. There's negotiations that have to happen, and that could be at a disadvantage to the buyer. Okay, so always err on the side. Give yourself an extra few days. Don't cut it close. And if you're going to cut it close, talk to the lender first. Make sure that's a date they're confident that they can make. And that's going to end section 3.